Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pretty Girl Confessions. I'm your host, your pretty girl, and today we're talking about vision boards. But before we get into it, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you all have a beautiful Christmas. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate, but if you do, make sure you are taking time to really spend quality time with your loved ones and remember what the meaning of Christmas is. I'm not trying to be like a Christian channel, but I do believe in Jesus. And I like to reflect on how I'm not like a super Christian or anything, but I believe like the basics. I have my own relationship with God. And I believe it's important to remember that you are you are love. You are love. That is what people are. We are the embodiment of love in physical form. And remember that as you're doing your holiday shopping and you're seeing family and friends, that we are supposed to be the embodiment of love. So make sure you're always kind and giving and just considerate and help out your family this season with doing the dishes or just letting them know how much you care. Okay, sorry for being so sappy. What was that? Time to be a mega awful person. I'm just kidding. So vision boards. I love making vision boards. I just made mine. I actually made mine at the start of December because I wanted to get like a head start on it and not be scrambling to make it past New Year's. So vision boards are something that I feel like everyone knows what they are. They've been around forever. I remember being a small child and seeing my father's vision board. So I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I think that's what allows me to think outside of the box so well, but it's also what has inhibited me from being able to work for anyone. So, good things and bad things with that. But a vision board, I think, is so important for everyone to have because it's been said that once you write down a goal onto a piece of paper, you are, I think, like 10 times more likely to achieve it because now it's written down. So that's a lot. That's a lot. But I truly believe the magic of a vision board is the fact that you take time every day to look at it, to actually acknowledge what is on your board, to see everything you put on it, and to see that all the things that you put on your vision board are already yours. You just have to get from A to B. That's it. You don't need to stress out about if it's going to happen. It will happen. But I am also a firm believer that you have to work. You have to put in effort and you have to get the ball rolling because I do listen to lots of manifestation content. I love Sammy Ingram. I love that girl so much. Give her a listen. She's great, phenomenal. And I do believe manifestation has a great effect on us, and our desires. But I also believe that there are things that require action from us to achieve. Because one of the videos I was watching from Sammy was she was talking about money manifestation and how it she found out that she was able to get money from doing YouTube. And through doing YouTube, she started manifesting the money she wanted to. So please, no one take this out of context, okay? This is just how I think, okay? So in my mind, what that tells me is that she did manifest the money she wanted. She did. That's great. But it also took the slightest bit of effort for her to keep posting and to keep engaging. So it's not like she was moving a mountain or turning a hill into a mountain, whatever the saying is, but she still did something to get the ball rolling. And I think that's the exact same thing with your vision boards, where you could have a picture of a car on your vision board. So what you have to figure out is how much the car costs and how you get the car, and then just manifest it. I truly think that having the things in front of you all the time, staring at them, and then holding your hand over your heart and just telling yourself you already have all of these things, I think it relieves a lot of stress because whenever you're stressed out, you're not in a good frequency for manifestation. but then you're also telling yourself a bad story. If you keep telling yourself the story of you can't afford or you can't do this, or you keep telling yourself that things aren't available to you, no wonder they're not going to be available to you. You're telling yourself they are inaccessible. So scrap that idea. Your vision board truly is just a reminder every single day of what you are getting closer to by the second. It's stuff that you already have, and it's how you live. It should embody your identity, your beliefs, and your habits. And if you are doing an identity shift where you are rebranding completely and you're purging your environment, you're purging some relationships, and you're getting rid of all the things that don't align, your vision board is going to be kind of like your little cheat code to all of this, because it will have on there, it should have on there, everything that matches your identity. So if your identity is a business entrepreneur, like woman, if you started your own business, if you want to start your own business, have something on there that identifies as that to remind you, I am now this business owner. I am now a businesswoman. I work full time for myself. Have things on there that remind you of your beliefs. You believe eating healthy every day is the standard. It's not going above and beyond. It's simply the standard. Have a picture. Go on Pinterest. If you're not on Pinterest, what are you doing? But go on Pinterest and look up aesthetic food. That's all you have to type in. And you will see all these pictures of all these beautiful meals and stuff. And you can grab a couple of those photos and put it on there. You only want to put the ones on that are healthy if that's one of your new identities, as someone that eats healthy. But this is what I'm telling you, is use your vision board to truly help you create your identity and your beliefs and reinforce this new person. Have it somewhere you can look at every single day, because if you just have it tucked away, how is that serving you? I have mine in my bathroom. I am thinking of moving it to beside my bed and then having almost like a meditation rug, because I love sitting on the floor. I'm a big floor sitter. And I really like to turn on my red light at night. I told you I'm into wellness. I'll just have my red light on at night to where it's so dark, it's easy on my eyes. I'll be burning incense. And it's nice just to look at my vision board and then to do my like 10-minute affirmations. That's great. This is so many plugs for Sammy and Graham, but she's phenomenal. She's so good. If you're in a manifestation, you're not listening to her, please listen to her. I love that she's like very to the point. She's a bit sassy with it, which I love, but she's amazing. But yeah, your vision board, it doesn't just create the results for you. It helps reinforce your beliefs and kind of keeps you on the straight and narrow. It helps you, it reminds you what you're doing, what you're working towards, and what you need to be doing so that you can achieve everything. And I'm not one to say like play small or play big, but I do think whatever you put on your vision board, make it stand out. Make it something to where right now it may seem unattainable, but I truly believe if you live your life like there is no glass ceiling, that will be the case for you, because that's a belief. If you live your life believing that there's no glass ceiling, that there is no limit on how much you can earn, there is no limit on how many followers you can have, there's no limit on how amazing your body can look. Like when you believe these things, you start acting like these things are true, because in your mind, in your reality, they are true. And when things become true to you in your reality, you start seeing it. You start seeing it everywhere. One of the things that could be true could be like with me, I have like the funniest coincidences ever. And I don't believe things are coincidences. I always think that they're a direct reaction or response to what I'm putting out in the universe. And one of the things is like if I feel like I'm ever like, ooh, I feel like I've been spending so much money lately, I'll just keep telling myself, like, I'm always receiving money. I'm always receiving money. And I put things like this on my vision board to keep me in that mind of like abundance. And so then I'll just notice funny things will happen to me. Like random people I'll meet and they'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much for like talking to me about like I'll give advice about food or something." And then people will just Venmo me like $150. And I'm like, "Oh, that's funny. I wasn't expecting that." So I kind of got off track a little bit. I'm sorry. But don't play too small with your stuff because anything can happen if you allow yourself to believe anything can happen. It really can. And it's just you putting your new identity on a board. That's all a vision board is. It is the embodiment of who you are. Who you are. Not necessarily who you are this second, but who you are wanting to become. And make it clear enough to where you can actually take actionable steps to become that person. Now, if it's someone that just wears a lot, like if you have a lot of like designer and luxury things on there, um, there might be different ways for you to go about reflecting that as your new identity. Maybe you start off by, instead of just buying all the Louis and Gucci and Prada, maybe you start off just by investing in very high quality, not name brand pieces. So if you want to be this luxurious person, then you can maybe start by buying a very nice, high quality, real leather handbag. Something simple, something very simple. Because one thing I know that makes someone look put together is if I can tell that their clothes are high quality. Not the brand, but just the fact that you can see it. I used to want to go to school for fashion, and I still have the idea floating in my mind. I have a lot of projects I want to do right now, but I have still this idea in my head for creating this whole fashion line, and it wouldn't be like necessarily designer, it'd be more like kind of everyday person wear. But the thing that taught me was I can see a cheap shirt, a cheap blouse from a mile away. I can see sheen quality clothes from 10 miles away. And when I see it, it now affects how I feel about certain people, because I'm not saying you have to be rich or anything, but I do believe there is something about, if you're in a business setting, dressing yourself in high quality clothes, it just makes you come off as more trusting, more more professional, and you're just put together. You look like someone worth giving my time to. So that was a little bit of a tangent. It's okay. We're here. We're having a good time. But you have to prepare for all of this, and this is something I keep saying, but if you don't prepare for your new self, how do you expect your new self to handle everything? Because if you just wake up and you're like, okay, now I'm this super awesome businesswoman that makes 20,000 a month, and we're starting right now, have you done anything to reflect that? Is your wardrobe going to reflect that? Is how you do your hair going to reflect that? Is how you take care of your space going to reflect that? So, like, figure out everything you need to change for your environment and then make the plan. So, I think it's best right now to make the vision board and then really make a plan of how to get there. And I'm trying to think of the name of the guy. There's this thing you can look up where it's a test. Well, it's not a test, but it's a little practice you can do with goals where you take out a piece of paper and you write down 10 goals you want to achieve in the next 12 months. And these things should be, if you have 10 goals you want to achieve, they should be on your vision board. So write down your 10 goals, and then if I had a magic wand and I could make any one of those goals come true in the next 24 hours, which one would you want it to be? Which one would have the best and biggest impact on your life? Circle that goal. Whatever thing you just circled, that is the most important thing for you. That is the most important thing for embodying and becoming and being your dream self. So that needs to be front and center of your vision board, and that's something you need to make a plan of action to actually achieve. So I know I'm going back and forth from manifestation to vision board to goal setting and planning, but all these tie in together because the vision board aspect, that is helping you stay on the same path of being your new self, being your dream self. Identity, belief, habits. That's what your vision board embodies, okay? And then you can have your goals, maybe just a couple goals. You can have all 10 of them up there, but you have to have at least the most important goal up there on your vision board. So you see it every day, and then you need to go back and make a plan of action. What would your dream self be doing to achieve these goals? And then you just reverse engineer it. So if you want to, let's say the goal is make 10K a month, what can you do to make money? And then what can you do to make real money? And then where do you have to be to do these things? Can you do it in person? Do you do it online? And how accurate is it that this is how you will achieve this goal of making $10,000? So you want to really plan these things out, because once you have the plan, then you have your vision board and you identify as this person, there's no stopping you, because you're already armed with everything. You're identifying as a person that goes after what they want, that writes down their goals and achieves their goals. So there's no stopping you. The vision board isn't this magic wand or anything. It is truly just a way to keep you going after what you are meant to become, which is your dream self. It is just inspiring you every day to keep being this dream self, to not revert back to who you once were. Because if you don't like who you are now or who you were in the past, you're sure as hell not going to like going back to being this person. So why sabotage that? Why allow yourself room to sabotage it? Instead, make your vision board, make your plans, make sure you have a very clear idea of who you now are, who your dream self is, who you're embodying, and make sure you understand what your biggest, most important goal is that will get you everything that you want. Because usually people really only have one main goal. Everything else will just kind of happen along the journey. So maybe your one main goal is making a certain amount of money. If you're embodying the habits in every other way of your dream self, which is like working out, in 6 months, if you kept up with those habits, you would have already achieved your dream physique. That wouldn't have to be your main focus, because that's already one of your habits. And then another habit is working on your business, but you're always, if that's your main goal with that one's more of like every single day you're looking at what you can do to better it, to get further, to move the needle, to row the boat faster. There's another book where it was written by a Olympic rower. He won first place, like he won gold, I think a couple times with his team. But he did a talk that I was at. It was in Spain, and he was talking about how the entire time leading up to the Olympics, him and his teammates, the only question they ever asked was, will this make the boat go faster? Because that's the whole point. So you need to really start auditing your life, looking at the things you're doing and seeing where your goal is, and ask yourself, will this make the boat go faster? I know your goal probably isn't to become a gold Olympian for rowing, but your goal is probably something to where every day you can ask yourself different things you're doing. Me sitting here watching Netflix, is this making the boat go faster? Is this getting me closer to my goal? Is this getting me further to my goal? Is this aligning with my identity? Is this aligning and reflecting my vision board back to me? If the answer is yes, fantastic. If it's no, you know what to do to change it. You know what to do to change it. And no one else knows what the correct thing for you to do except for yourself. because you're in your own situation, you're in your own head, you know your new identity. So it's up to you. So I hope this video helped a lot of you. I hope you all make your vision boards. I'm going to be making actually a Patreon and a Discord very soon. And I would love to have a community of us where, I don't know, maybe we could like share things with each other and just, talk more in a kind of private space. So, because I've had a couple people say some funny comments on here, and I'm like, okay, it's so funny. Haters are just confused fans. But anyways, yeah, I let me know if you're making your vision board or you already made it, and try out the little not test, but the little worksheet thing I told you to do with the goals. So write that down, figure out which one's the most important one, and then just work on it. Work on it. And let me know what you all would like me to talk about in the next video. I had a lot of fun filming this and talking, and I love you all so much. Stay pretty, stay sexy, and keep being your dream self and living your dream life. Lots of love, hugs and kisses. Like, comment, subscribe, and talk to you next one. Goodbye.